NVIDIA stock is just surging up like crazy. People who were shorting it are getting wrecked. They are showing unprecedented numbers in the earnings and quarter results. All the AI tokens are just going mad. They had done 5, 7, 10, 15x's, including NQAI that I actually called that had done 6x already. How you can capitalize on the opportunity, how you can actually make money from it. Buying AI tokens that are hot already, that are pumped like crazy at this stage. But at the same time, do you think that this is all the liquidity that will inflow into them? Do you think that people that made money on stock market with NVIDIA will be investing into gaming tokens, into meme tokens, into Bitcoin ecosystem? They will be investing in things that they know, they understand, and most importantly, they made money on AI tokens and GPU related tokens. Elon Musk is saying that GPUs are harder to buy than drugs, but we might have a solution in crypto for this problem, and crypto might be the ideal technology and ideal space to actually solve this issue. Finally, real utility for our space. But is this token render? Is it Akash? No, I will give you something better. Something that you would be able to enter at the prices of VCs, at the prices of whales, buying the tokens very, very early, at the prices of insiders. I will give you a GPU decentralized project that has 26 times more active users on a monthly basis than Render, that is launching with only 50 million market cap. You cannot even understand how many people are still fading at this stage, buying out pumped bags of Render with 2,000 monthly active users. I can build an app with ChatGPT in one day and it will have 2,000 users next day. Crazy. What is actually happening? First of all, we have to understand that NVIDIA stock is already up 15% for today, which is crazy, crazy for the stocks. $100 in one day for the stock. That's not crypto. They don't see these type of returns there. And people, they literally have hundreds of millions in this company. And some of these hundreds of millions, they will end up in crypto. You need to position yourself in order to prepare for this liquidity coming in. One thing I also wanted to mention is something about Purple AI. A month ago, I actually made a video about AI tokens which only got 1,000 views. I mentioned Purple AI on that video. And it's very, very interesting what actually happened with the token since then. And you might ask, it was $3, right now it's 12, so it's only 4x. NQAI that you actually gave us did a 6x. But it's very, very important what actually happened after my video. Because I published it somewhere here at $3 and then it basically went from $3 to $1. And from $1 it did a 15x just recently in this recent AI surge. It's actually a Telegram bot project that helps people to create Telegram bots in an automated way so they can just send messages in order to generate images for different projects. They have crazy clients, crazy people, and I don't have any of these tokens still. I actually have a crazy story to tell about this token, which hurts me a lot. I will probably do a video on this story tomorrow. I also was heavily researching and thinking on buying into the token at these levels, even after this 15x, which is crazy, but I do think it might be surging higher. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to put at least $10,000 into this thing at 12 million market cap. And you can basically see outcome here. This is something that I was doing through this whole morning. What I was basically doing, I was picking the wallets of top holders that we can see here. I was getting their wallet address from Etherscan and I was putting them in Zerion in order to see where they were buying and what are they doing currently with this specific token. And I definitely saw different type of behaviors because some of them, they were buying the top, then they were selling, then they were essentially buying the bottom, and then they were selling, surging up. That's one of them, right? This guy probably just transferred and right now he's taking profits at these highs. This one is very, very interesting. He sold here, so he probably transferred them somewhere before. He bought here, he bought here, he bought here as well. He sold, and then he bought some more. But the amounts that he actually is buying and selling is very, very low. And his allocation of this token is $200,000, which is basically just crazy. The main reason of my on-chain analysis in terms of this token right now is to understand whether or not whales are actually buying at these levels. What are they doing with the token? Are they taking profits heavily? Are they actually buying into this thing right now? Because I feel huge FOMO that I was not able to enter. And speaking of all this AI craziness, speaking of the fact that guys that made money on NVIDIA, they are not yet in crypto at this stage. They will only come once we would have all-time high on BTC. Therefore, we should have crazy liquidity inflow. And this crazy liquidity inflow will essentially happen in AI tokens specifically, and GPUs as well, which I'm going to share a bit later in this video. I am basically praying right now for the market to give a correction on this thing so I can enter. But most likely I would still be entering at these levels and just buying more because it's very, very hard to buy. I actually made some buys today and it was so hard. It was like putting your own hard-earned money into a black hole because I was actually adding new liquidity into the market. And what I know on this market is that when it's the most uncomfortable to buy, when everyone is exhausted, they are tired, this is the exact time to get into the market. Not when everyone is euphoric and everyone is screaming we are going up and things like that. Right now, at least half of the market is screaming at the top of its lungs that we are going down. Very, very interesting situation. I just feel the sentiment. I feel it myself. I feel what other people feel as well. And that's the only reason for me buying at this stage. Let's actually come back to the main question of this video. How you can make money, how you can capitalize on the craziness of all these inflows of money, of all these inflows of profits actually appearing in crypto market. How you can position yourself the best. Is it by a trender that had done 12x's from the bottom and has 2,000 monthly active users? Is it buying Akash that has even lower amount of monthly active users? Let's actually check out the data and make decision for ourselves. Here's a comparison between GAIMIN and alternatives. GAIMIN, GMRX token, Render and Akash as well. Circulating market cap. GAIMIN is not on the marketplace currently. Render 1.65 billion. I believe it's way larger right now, probably 2.5 billion. Akash somewhere around half billion. Fully diluted market cap. 2.4 billion for Render, which is closer to 4 billion at this stage, and 930 million for Akash, which is probably larger currently as well. GPU network monthly active users. 56,000 users. 1,140. Akash 159. That's the only thing you have to understand about these tokens and about these projects that you are putting your money into. You have to follow what the users are. You have to follow where transactions are. You have to follow where the developers are. This is the key for successful crypto investment in actually blue chip long-term projects that would be showing results on the time frame. Imagine the size of the bubble with 2,000 active users and 2.5 billion market cap. I actually had a question because narrative around Render is very, very good, but I actually had a question myself. Why the market cap is not larger? Because the narrative is so good. Right now, I have the answer. People that read data, they don't want to invest into these things because they do understand that monthly active users is very, very low. Now, I'm not flooding your token. You have to understand that this data won't be accessible to a large amount of people because no one is doing the research. They would be just throwing the funds into this token, and I do believe that the guys that would be coming with profits from NVIDIA into this market, they will be still buying Render. They will be still pushing the price of this thing up. And what we will do, we will piggyback Render. We will open a safe leverage position on Render, which will do very, very well. with actual users, and we will enter this position at the levels that VCs are entering, at the levels that whales are entering. And you might ask, alright, it has 56,000 monthly active users. It has 28 more times monthly active users than Render. But what are the other things that this project might actually have? GAIMIN, Movemental Labs, and BNB Chain collaborate to create the fastest gaming blockchain in the world, a Move language based layer 2 on BSC with 150,000 transactions per second speed, the lowest latency, native gaming, and deep-in features, and watched by millions of gamers. GAIMIN is a gaming company. They do have gaming esports professional teams that are playing different games. They have a user base already. They are very deep in the business. Them partnering up with Move in order to develop their own gaming blockchain is very bullish. Move is a great development language. It's been developed by Facebook team that essentially launched Sui and Aptos. Sui is also written with Move. I do believe there might be certain connections between these projects and between these teams. And Sui is highly manipulated. They have market makers working there. They will be pumping this token up like crazy in the bull market. Therefore, we might assume that the same thing might happen with the GAIMIN chain. They will also have users to onboard into this blockchain right away. The current gamers that are playing and watching the esport teams and the users of their deep-in decentralized infrastructure gaming solution as well, which is very bullish. And fast network with 150,000 transactions per second is exactly what we need in order to bring crypto gaming adoption. If this is not enough for you, I have something more. Why I'm so bullish on gaming? The team understands Web3 cult, incubated by CoinMarketCap. That's actually something I forgot to mention. They will be incubating with CoinMarketCap. Therefore, each and every person actually opening up CoinMarketCap, they would see gaming token. They would see GMRX. Crazy. They own one of the top esports organizations in Gaming Gladiator. Run the world's biggest DeepIn for GPUs. Biggest because they have largest amount of monthly active users. Not 2,000 active users a month, right? A token GMRX is launching soon. I will tell you the specific date of launch and how you can participate into the launch yourself and what I am actually doing personally, myself, about this whole situation. Collaboration with BNB Chain and Move development language, developing the fastest layer 2 on BSC, reaching 150k transactions per second, low latency and watched by millions of gamers. Quite bullish if you would ask me. Quite bullish in order to become one of the top projects in crypto gaming. And on top of that, with pure direct shot in the hottest narrative of this cycle, coming from the stock market, with all the liquidity from the stock market, GPUs and AI actually solving the problem, because with gaming you can already download the software and be able to provide the resources of your GPU into the decentralized network. This is key. This is something that's going to solve one of the largest issues. This is what will basically allow for decentralized metaverse in the future as well. We would see whether or not they would essentially be able to succeed, but this is the closest thing that we have to a success currently, just based on the amount of monthly active users. And no one knows about this thing. No one is talking about this thing at this stage. Maybe they don't want you to know. We also have the announcement from CDFI that they would essentially be launching gaming on the platform as well. I don't hold any CDFI tokens. I'm not planning to buy any CDFI tokens at this stage, but there is also other way to participate and actually be able to receive gaming tokens as airdrops on the course of the coming 12 months. That's pretty much the same as early investing into the project. Very similar terms. And here is how. On OpenSea, you basically have 3 different NFTs, silver, gold, and black gold. And all of them will be airdropping the certain amount of tokens on a monthly basis. From price and tokens comparison point of view, the best one is silver. Gold and black gold, they also have their own benefits. But I just bought a bunch of silver NFTs. And you can actually see my offer right here. I'm waiting for the 7 more NFTs to be sold to me at the price of 30% below the market. I specifically set this price because yesterday I was setting price 30% below the market for one NFT and someone actually sold it to me. And in the support on GAIMIN Discord, they actually told me that there is a bot handling some of the sales and buys. Therefore, in some cases, it might go through. I will just wait and see. And I'm kind of shooting myself in the leg by actually publishing this video because I do want for these 7 NFTs to actually get bought. Right now, I just bought 6 from the market. What you would essentially be able to do with these NFTs is that you would be receiving the tokens on a monthly basis, certain amount based on the tier of your NFT. Obviously, the closer we move to the end of the year, the cheaper the price of these NFTs is going to become, just based on the fact they would essentially have less tokens to provide. And right now, I would say you would probably be entering quite cheap, despite the fact that at the end of February, NFTs, they were 3 times cheaper. And I also faded them at that time. Right now, I'm buying. I'm just seeing crazy narrative behind this thing. If the token is not going to pump, if it's going to go lower, I will just put more cash and buy more, because this narrative with this amount of active users, working product, all the fans following this company as well, layer 2 blockchain developed with Smooth specifically for gaming, it should run. It's very, very bullish. You also have to know that there are also Solana NFTs that basically went up like crazy after NVIDIA announcement, but they are still not very high. I think I saw them at 4 Solana 2 days before, so it's not that high at all. Right, so we can see the chart. It steady grows from the middle of February, even from the end of January. But it's still not that bad. It was like at 2, 3 Solana. Right now it's only at 5. So I do believe that a lot of people are still fading this project. And this is actually what I like very, very much. It's going to be very, very interesting what actually is going to happen on the launch, because this project actually was on the market for 5 years already. They wanted to launch it previously, then they changed the IDO date, and right now they actually fixated the IDO date. The IDO is going to happen on 29th of February. I actually generally think it's a good buy. The main reason for that is because you can see from all the sources, from all the different influencers screaming that AI is gaming are going to be top performing narratives on the market. This thing is actually something that combines these two narratives and combines them in a very, very good way. On top of that, solving the GPU issue and combining DP narrative as well. It's crazy good how nice the combination of narrative is. Me even speaking these things to you, I want to cancel my offer, I want to unwrap my Ethereum, and I want to just buy more NFTs from the market. So at least I would have 10 of them. And I would be planning to buy each and every dip of this token moving forward as well. Despite the users, despite the team, despite them building this gaming blockchain, just because of the combination of narrative, this thing should run like crazy. And right now you have an option, fairly cheap, get into NFTs and actually get airdrops of these tokens on a monthly basis on the course of the whole upcoming year. I would say this is just free money. I don't think that this project will be staying at 50 million market cap at the launch market cap. I just think that it's going to run like crazy. We do definitely have a very, very interesting thing with AI narrative and with gaming narrative as well. I do think that gaming narrative is going to onboard the largest amount of users, but not the largest amount of investors. And I do think that the largest amount of investors are actually going to come through AI narrative. Just because of the fact that a bunch of people actually made a bunch of money already in the stock market on AI companies. It's very, very easy for them to invest into the same thing. And here we have this crazy combination. We would have a bunch of users coming from gaming, we'll get a bunch of investors coming from AI, and on top of that, this thing is actually solving the GPU issue. I think there are too many people fading this project at this stage. I don't think it's going to run anyway, just because of the combination of the narratives and actually active users. I hope you appreciate my analysis. I hope you appreciate me bringing this project to you as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Leave your comments if you have any questions or if you have a different opinion on the project as well. And see you in the next one. Bye-bye.